Hi students, once again this is Al Druschler, and in this video we will talk about multiplying polynomials. Let's look at a first example here where it says multiply 4x plus 3y times 5x minus 2y. So we have a binomial times a binomial. In this you may have heard of the FOIL property. So in 4x plus 3y, in that first binomial, the first term is the 4x, the last term is the 3y. In the next one, the 5x minus 2y, the first term is the 5x, and the last term is negative 2y. Now if you look at all four terms in one, the inner terms are the 3y and the 5x, and the outer terms are the 4x and the negative 2y. So FOIL is first, outer, inner, last. It's really the same thing as the distributive property. So we will multiply the two first terms, the 5x or the 4x times the 5x. So that's 20x squared. Those were the first terms. FOIL. Oh, so we multiply the outer terms now. So that's the 4x times the negative 2y. That's negative 8xy. And now we multiply the inner terms, 3y times 5x. So 3 times 5 is 15, positive. Now you could write yx, but that's the same as xy. So we're going to write it the same way we just wrote the last term there. And then the last terms, 3y times negative 2y is negative 6y squared. So I just multiplied those. And now we just group the inner terms here, the middle terms. Negative 8 plus 15. 8 and 7 is 15. So this is plus 7xy. And then minus 6y squared. So you'll always have to do a little bit of simplifying when you do these at the very end. Okay, let's look at a second example. Multiply 3x minus 2 squared. So you could write it this way. 3x minus 2 times 3x minus 2. And then use FOIL or distributive. 3x times 3x, 9x squared. 3x times negative 2, negative 6x. Negative 2 times 3x, negative 6x. Notice we just did 2 times the 3x times negative 2. And then negative 2 times negative 2 is plus 4. So 9x squared minus 12x plus 4. So that is one way to do it. Another way to think about this is if you have a plus b squared, you can write that as a squared plus 2 times a times b plus b squared. And that follows that pattern that we just did, except we had a minus b squared. So it would be a squared minus 2 times ab, but then plus b squared. So our example was, if you remember, 3x minus 2 squared. So let's see how this works here. 3x minus 2 squared. So a is 3x, if you follow the rule, a. So what we did in the rule is we squared a. So the square of 3x is 9x squared. Now if you multiply a times b, that's 3x times 2, that's 6x. But we're going to multiply that by 2. So you might want to write minus 2 times 3x times 2 to follow the rule there. And then plus b squared. Now b is 2. So 2 squared is 4, so plus 4. Now when you get good at this, you just do the middle part in your head. You know it's going to be 3x times 2 is 6 times 2 is 12. So it'll be minus 12x in the middle. And then plus 4. So there are these rules. It's called square of a binomial rule that you could follow as well. Okay, let's look at a third example real quick. Now we're multiplying 3 binomials. Now what I would do here is I would multiply the first 2 and then keep the y squared plus 4. So y times y, y squared, plus 2y, so these are the outers, minus 2y, that's the inner terms, and then minus 4. So I just multiplied the first two binomials, and then y squared plus 4. We're just bringing that down. Okay, simplify anything that you can first. So we have y squared. These cancel out. Y squared minus 4 times y squared plus 4. And now you can use FOIL again. So y squared times y squared is y to the 4th. Y squared times positive 4 is plus 4y squared. Negative 4 times y squared is minus 4y squared. Negative 4 times positive 4 is negative 16. And then here, these middle terms cancel. And we have y to the 4th minus 16. Okay. And I am going to do one last example here. And let's just make this up 2x plus 3, and then we'll have times a trinomial. So we'll do 3x minus 4y plus 5. Okay, so I just want to show you something a little bit bigger here. So we have 2x plus 3 times 3x minus 4y plus 5. So when I do this, I'm going to distribute the 2x first. And whenever you distribute, you're always multiplying. So 2x times 3x, that's 6x squared. 2x times negative 4y, that's negative 8xy. 2x times 5 is plus 10x. Okay, now we will distribute the 3. So you multiply the 3 by each of those. So now we have plus 9x minus 12y plus 15. And now you look for any like terms that you can combine. And it's just in the middle. Sometimes there's more. 6x squared minus 8xy plus 19x minus 12y plus 15. Okay, many times you can actually simplify a little bit more. Okay, that was 4 examples of multiplying polynomials. If you have any questions, please contact me as soon as possible. Once again, this is Al Drushler.